Nevertheless, we move on. It's not about me, it's about how you can scale up with your business. Now, this evening, we have an opportunity to look at what's happening in the industry, the world of SMMEs. Now, from brick and mortar word of mouth to the buzzing world of hashtags and trending reels, small businesses are rewriting the rules of marketing. And so we're going to be getting into that space. Before we speak to an individual who can break down the stats for us, we're going to get into conversation with an individual who's a chef. Now, from whisking up treats in the kitchen to whisking up followers online, our next guest proves that social media can turn passion into profit. Known for her online community as Chef Batlie Banyana, she began by simply sharing her baking journey. Today, those posts have blossomed into a thriving business, Glow Catering Services. Her bold, authentic presence online platforms hasn't just showcased her skill set. You know, it's not just her showing you what she's capable of, but she's built a loyal customer base and fueled real business growth. How exactly did she turn these likes into orders, these followers into clients? We get into that 411 in a short bit. We firstly welcome Chef Batlile onto the platform. Chef Batlile, welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited.
Come on, I love that energy. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's start off by gauging your first take on social media. This was you sharing your cooking journey, right? I don't know if it was you learning at the time or you expressing something that you had already studied. What was the context?
Okay, so there was no context whatsoever. I think it was just mainly a thing of you need to find clients. You need to find a way to make profit of whatever it is that you're making, you see. I mean, highly at the end of the day, you can't just keep something that good to yourself, you see. So I just figured that, you know what, let me use what's around me and benefit from it somehow. So yeah, that's just about
Sure.
it.
Okay, okay. So this was a business venture from the onset, is what I'm understanding, right?
Mm.
You said to yourself,
Yeah.
listen, I need to make the money and I'm going to maximize on all the access that I have. I want to talk about those first posts. You know, what platforms were you posting on? I understand that you also had a trail on WhatsApp as well. I want to know the platforms. I want to know the engagement initially.
Mm, mm. All right. So I used WhatsApp most of the times. I'm actually very shy. I know I come across as someone who's outspoken but I'm actually very camera shy.
Noise.
So I kid you not, I'm very camera shy. I'd rather be in front of an audience than be in front of a camera. I don't know why, but it's just, yeah, it's crazy business, honestly. So I leveraged WhatsApp most of the time. So I would enter these community groups and market myself in them. I still do it till today. It's one of the best tools that I've used. Although we have TikTok now and Instagram and Facebook, WhatsApp will forever remain a fave for me because I get to actually communicate um, on a certain level with potential clients. And because if it's people who are around my area, it makes it a bit more easy and accessible for them to get my services and my baked goods.
You know what's really interesting, Chef, is that I cannot imagine having to post daily or enter communities and say, hi, this is what I have today. Hi, are you interested in what I have to offer? The resilience, the consistency. Was it always the
Mm.
case? Were you always consistent? Or were there times where you're like, I'm done with this? Honestly, I'm done fighting for my life.
Yeah, I get those days even now, to be honest. It's not an easy journey, like I said. Communicating with clients on a day-to-day basis, it's a lot of work. And I don't have the luxury of having a full marketing team that's going to post on my behalf and ensure that the business is always up and running in terms of marketing. So it's always the case of just showing up, even if you don't want to show up. If it means that maybe for this month you didn't get any cake orders, I've had such months before. I would post some previous work, maybe work from 2 years ago, and try and see if it will attract that particular customer. So here's the trick in the cake business. There's no cake that's expensive. There's no cake that is cheap. It all depends on the design that you want. It all depends on the flavor. It all depends on the time that it takes me as the baker in preparing your order. So if you come to me and you say, Chef, I want this cake and I want it done by tomorrow, I will definitely do it, considering factors such as is it a large cake? Is it going to take too much of my time? What's the design like? What are the flavors? So it's a lot of work, really. It is. It requires patience. It requires you to understand where the client is coming from. Sometimes the client isn't happy with an order she probably got from elsewhere or the supermarket and would expect you to perform magic. Basically, we are magicians in the kitchen.
That's really interesting. I've always wondered how one balances personal life versus clientele, right? And this is why I'm a bit pedantic about putting my number out there because now someone is giving you a
Mm,
ring at like 10 to 11 p.m. and you're trying to relax and they're like, oh my goodness, I
yeah.
need a cake and tomorrow and my son and everyone's crying. And now you must play captain of the ship
Mm.
and save the day. How do you deal with those contexts?
So in the beginning, I would just accept. If a client were to call me at 10 o'clock at night and I'm just relaxing with my family, I'd answer the call. But then it came a point where I needed to grow as an individual and separate business from personal life, right? So WhatsApp, again, a very nice tool to use. Um, WhatsApp Business, actually, to be more specific, allowed me to at least put different time slots. When am I operating, when I'm not on, and a pop-up message. It would just say, hi, welcome to Ditlo Catering Services. This is Chef Batlie. Thank you so much for considering us for your party or event. Unfortunately, we're unavailable at the moment. Please pop us a message and we'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible. You see, stating the operating hours and notifying the clients that, okay, you can't fetch your cake order at 7 o'clock at night. You need to come before 5 o'clock. Otherwise, you can fetch the cake tomorrow morning. Also, it's a safety measure. I operate from home, so you can only imagine the position that puts me in, right? So it's a bit tricksy.
That's interesting. Let's talk about
Yeah.
migration. So you started off with WhatsApp, and of course, it was convenient. You had direct access to your clientele. They knew you to an extent. You knew them to an extent. Now you migrate and you hop onto TikTok, onto Facebook, onto Instagram. And this isn't as connected. You aren't a phone call away. Well, you actually are, but I'm glad that people don't know how to
Mm.
call through these platforms apart from TikTok. I am so glad. Nevertheless, people don't feel like they are directly linked to you. Let's talk about that transition.
Mm.
Was it easy? Was it hard for you?
It was hard for me, especially with TikTok. Facebook was easy for me to navigate. Again, I'm camera shy. So, um, Ditlo has founded a couple of babies. So I've got sub companies under Ditlo Catering Services. And one of them is Young Chefs, which is something I'm really fond of, that touches base on teaching the culinary skills to young kids and adults as well. So I remember this time I used my niece. I used to record videos of her cooking certain foods just so that I can upload a recipe. But I wanted it to be interesting and memorable, you see. So I would do that for the cooking classes. I would do that for the baking as well. She's outspoken, she's vibrant, she's young, and she would do this while dancing in the kitchen. So even they gave her a brand name. She was called Chef Motelo, and it was just a blast. And my following grew up really well on Facebook, and eventually I stopped. I don't know why did I stop, but yeah. So I had to find a creative way to navigate around Facebook. Again, I jumped on a few group chats. Supporting groups around my community and outside of my community, just to make it easy for me to not only be in the community but reach other avenues as well. So I've had orders all the way from the Northwest, Limpopo province. I had an upside down cake and I had to bake it while pregnant. And it was a wedding cake and it was going to Limpopo. So you can only
Wow.
imagine the growth that came with that. A huge challenge for me, but I nailed it. It was a very beautiful cake and a very lovely experience, a huge challenge to me, a token of actually, chef, you can actually do this. You can do far beyond this. You see, if you can travel 4 hours in a heated weather to deliver a cake, a wedding cake at that, I mean, come on. That is just bizarre. So Facebook opened up a lot of opportunities for me. TikTok, I'm still trying to find my feeting around it. For now, I'm just posting pictures and a couple of videos, but I'm not showing my face. Like I said, I'm a bit camera shy. It's a fear that I'm still trying to navigate around, but surely one day I'll get there.
Absolutely, chef. You need to. How? Batli. You. This is your platform. You've got to shine. Also, I do think that the reality is when you've given the camera a posture mentally, it becomes your enemy. But the minute you realize it's just me and
Yeah,
this device, really, truly, it's just me and this
yeah.
device. And I say start off by practicing to take selfies. If you get comfortable taking selfies, you put the phone slightly away from you, take videos while you're watching yourself. And then you eventually get to this place where you are familiar with standing in front of your cell phone camera and you take it
Mm,
from there. Nevertheless, let's talk about beyond sales, right? It's one thing to gun
mm.
for sales, to want these likes to turn into leads, these leads to turn into purchases. What else have you gained from social media?
So, besides the sales, what social media has really offered for me, and I've benefited from it thus far, I'd say exposure, opportunity, and a path that I didn't actually know I needed to take. It took a while for my business to get to where it is right now. My sales could be better, but I'm not rushing it. I think I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build trust with potential clients, and I don't want to sell to individuals only. I'm targeting businesses now. I want to supply them with my goods. I'm trying to create a brand, a Chef Batlie brand. So it takes a lot for me to get there. And you're absolutely right. It's about time that I actually hop on the camera and show this key face.
Come
So
on. Yes,
yeah, you
ma'am.
see. So I need to just gain the courage and gain the confidence to, showcase the talents and showcase what I'm capable of. But so far it has offered me many opportunities. People who have seen my work, advertised on my behalf. It reached a few popular people in the industry, celebrities. I've catered for a few of them, and I'm not quite sure if I should mention them, so I'm not going to mention for now. But that experience just taught me that there's just so much that I can offer, and there's so much potential out there. And actually, when you're a foreigner in a different area, just like the social media platform, that's where you actually get to thrive the most.
So, if you're talking about celebs, honey, drop names. This is your time to shine.
Girl, you
Girl,
see the studio you're currently
come
in. You
on.
see your producer girl.
Come
Please
on.
ask me about the dessert she had and
Okay.
how she just like started melting off the dessert because she was like, "What? on earth is this? You know, so she knows. I won't say much. She knows. She can attest to this. But yeah, I've had the privilege of sharing my products with the baby Tinolo. It was such an honor. She's such an amazing woman. I still admire her till today. I'm her biggest fan. She knows that. I've stalked her for so many years, only for me to actually see her and actually cater her, cater to her at an
Yeah.
event that we attended a while ago. I've catered for your Gigimputi, and again at another event that I happened to be a chef in on that particular day. Ihashilim Mhlophe, I've catered for your Dr. David Molapo, I've catered for sports commentator Babam Tetwa. If you don't know him, he likes saying Hota Tabada. So yeah, it's been quite a lovely journey, honestly speaking.
Some commentary coming through from TikTok. MJ Visachi says, these cakes sound expensive. Mm, mm. Chef Batile,
I mean,
ma'am.
okay, so they are not expensive. Um, in a business, if you're running a business, you need to know who your target is, right? And my target is everyone. It's not limited to specific names. It's not limited to, I'm a professional pastry chef, so therefore they need to compensate because I've got a certificate to show. I do this because I love this. It's a passion of mine. And if you come to me and you say, I have this particular design and I have 400, we downsize the cake. I'm not quite sure. We've got this trend going on right now called bento cakes. Very, very affordable, very cute, very memorable, and it still comes with packs of flavor inside it, you see. So I guess it's a win-win situation for both parties, really. So let's be realistic. Our economy is quite expensive. Ingredients are expensive. I don't shop at local stores and then I just bake and then that's it, or use pre-mixes. I prefer to start from scratch. Some bakers prefer to go to your Pick and Pay, some prefer to go to your Woolies, and so on and so forth. We all use different ingredients and they cost different prices. And it's important that as bakers, as chefs, or as caterers, we cost our menus because it's time, it's effort, it's money, and it's your name at the end of the day. So I can't give you something that you're not going to be happy with. I want clients that come back. I'd rather have a client that comes back every single year. I've got a client that's been with me for more than 10 years now. I've baked her son's cake from the age of 1 up to 10. So that's my intention. I want to be consistent with my work. So I promise you won't regret.
Sure. Listen, you said
Yeah.
something, Chef Batli. You said that you start from the ground up. And I was just thinking, it's giving Nara Smith. Is that what you mean? You're like harvesting your own weeds. Like, what's going on? When you say from scratch, which scratch are
No,
we
it's not
talking?
that deep. Hopefully one day I will be able to do that. From scratch, I mean, we've got bakers who use the cheat way of baking cakes. So we've got bakers who will buy your easy mix products, which you can also buy, by the way, at the shops and just decide to make a cake by yourself, right? So I can tell the difference. I know an easy mix cake and I know a freshly baked cake from scratch, like flour, eggs, sugar, baking powder, bicarbonate if you're using that, vanilla essence if you're doing that. I know how you mix the sponge. I know the different types of sponges. I know you use the chiffon sponge, angel sponge, you name it. I'll know the difference. So you cannot cheat me. You can never ever cheat me. One thing for sure.
One thing about two things. We cannot get past you. That is so interesting. So tell me, how long have you been in the culinary arts?
Ooh, well, I started baking at the age of 14. I was still in high school. And there was those consumer studies kitchens and at school where people bake and they cook and all that as a subject. There was a beautiful smell coming out from that class, And I was like, oh my goodness, why am I not in grade 10 yet? Because what is this? I actually want to be in that kitchen. I want to see what's going on. Um, my grandmother used to bake. She used to sell at corners of the streets. My mom is a baker. My sister is a baker. We're just a family that cooks and bakes. So you can only imagine, it literally runs in my blood. So age 14, long story short, age 14, high school, we were not allowed to sell, but I would sneak in a bag and start selling muffins. And I saved up on that cash, bought a few stuff to start my baking journey, baked my first birthday cake. It was a 2-tier cake and it was terrible. It was horrible. Tasted good, but looked terrible. Very, very ugly. I still feel bad. I still want to apologize to the client till today. But what can we say? It was a learning curve. 2020 registered my business together with my sister, my co-partner in all of this, my ride or die. We registered Ditlo Catering, which is the mother company to 4 other companies. We have one being Young Chefs, as mentioned previously, Ditlo Equipment, Cake Delights, which is the bakery part of the business, and Hofori Bites. Hofori means giant, so Giant Africa. So basically, we're selling your kota, dagwood, you name it, right? So COVID time, I used to sell gigantic burgers. And then school happened, so I stopped. Went to culinary school, pursued my diploma in pastry arts at Capsicum Culinary Studio in Rosebank, graduated, and now I'm studying through UNISA, studying food science and nutrition. So I am trying to make flour from scratch.
I knew it. It was giving. I told you it was giving. Listen, Chef Batlie, I am thoroughly impressed by your offering. I
Thank
think
you.
you have detailed it so beautifully. You've put out the work, you've put in the work. You understand where you are taking Ditlo catering services. And I think for the most part, the team is just salivating here because we're hearing all these things. And Nolo is the only one who's like, oh, this is so amazing. That's not fair. I'm just putting it out there, girl. I'm telling you now. Okay? It can't be Nolo only. Okay? Me and Kathy are here in studio going, I don't think we understand what she says, But we respect the work that you're doing. There is a comment here that comes through from Mutlale Pule. Motsemi, and she says, I know that she knows your work, and she says you're amazing, and that your dessert had her salivating. And so people continue to
Thank
attest
you.
to your work, and we are commending you for the work that you're doing. We want you to get onto social media. Listen, I have an entire cluster of people watching this, right? Not only on YouTube, but also on TikTok, and we are rooting for you. Hop onto social media, maximize, put that cute face on social media, okay? So that
I'm
we can
there,
get
girl. Trust me.
so we can get the best of you, yeah?
Yeah, definitely on it. I need to learn how it actually works. What time to post, what to post, how to look like. Do we
Ma'am,
smile a lot? Are we
ma'am,
hashtagging? It's a lot of work, honestly
no.
speaking.
Can I tell you, it is not a lot of work. It is not about the algorithm. Make
Okay.
the algorithm follow you. You are the main prize, right? So here's my thing.
Mm,
When you begin to align to an algorithm that's ever changing, you sort of lose your center all the time because you're chasing time, you're chasing look, you're chasing feel. Listen, we want you. That's what social media is saying today. We want you
I
as
see.
you are, with your brand, with your brains, with all those beautiful things that you bake. We want to see all of that. Yeah?
On it. On it.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Chef.
Thank you so much. It's been a lovely interview. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I promise Nolo won't be the only one tasting the goodies. I am coming for you all.
Listen, I gave my technical producer the look. We both know that you now must commit to what you've said because this is on continental radio, my sister. That's all I'm saying. Yeah?
I've got you, I promise.
The voice there of Chef Batlie Banyana joining us this evening. She is part of the cluster that heads Ditlo Catering Services, and her bold, authentic presence, not just on this platform, but one that's waiting to burst onto social media, is something that we were exploring. Tonight's conversation is about maximizing on social media. Once upon a time, we were sharing highlights. I traveled to this beach, or I went to this place, or I am currently in a relationship with person X. That was the purpose of social media, keeping things social. It's now transformed. Very many things can be done on social media, and one such thing is social media marketing. Are you maximizing? Are you utilizing these platforms to get people to know what your business is about? Tell me about it. I'd love to hear from you. +27 63406 9126. It is 4 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time.